Welcome to the GenX Pole Arts podcast, Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen, also known as Nancy Adzentoivich, the founder of GenX Pole Arts. I am happy to be launching this podcast where we are going to be celebrating the strength, resilience, and potential of women over 40 in the vibrant world of pole dance. I'm excited to embark on this empowering journey with you guys. And each week, we will connect with inspiring women who are redefining what it means to thrive in their 40s and beyond. From incredible stories of personal transformation to tips on building strength and confidence, we'll explore the boundless possibilities that pole dancing offers for self-expression and empowerment. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just curious about the journey, there's a place for you here. So grab a cup of coffee, a sparkling water, whatever turns you on, and get comfortable. Let's celebrate the incredible power of women who are embracing their passions and pushing boundaries at every age. And don't forget to subscribe and join our community on social media and sign up for the 15-day pole dance challenge if you haven't done so already. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, episode 25. 25. This is a milestone episode, and you can see I have 4 beautiful people here joining me instead of just one. And you guys have seen them all before because they've all been guests on the podcast. We may have 2 additional guests joining us midway through, which should be an interesting experiment because I've never done anything like that before with just adding people. Well, we'll see how it goes. So the reason you may be wondering why I have so many people here today, the reason why I asked all of these lovely ladies to join me is that when we all started pole in late 2021, we became friends and we had a group text and we called it the Pole Babes. And I think Firebird, Michelle, you were the one that gave us that name. So this is the original Pole Babes -2, who hopefully will be joining us. And when I was thinking about what do I want to do for this 25th episode, what would be really significant, I thought of you all because you have all been with me every step of this journey, and we have all gone through so much together. And on every episode, the idea of community comes up. And I can't think of a better way to exemplify that than bringing you all together here 4 years, more than 4 years after we all met in 2021, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4 years. I have to count on my fingers. And we're still all here, all together for the most part. I mean, lots has changed in our lives. And I kind of want to ask you guys a little bit about that as we get going. But thank you for being here. I know it was kind of last minute and we were able to finagle schedules and we're recording in the evening, which is unusual, but you're all here and I love you all. So thank you.
We're happy to be here.
Okay. Yay. So you guys know Shay, Mimi, Firebird, aka Michelle, and Dee, also known as the exploration of her, who was actually my very first guest. Episode 2 was Dee. So thank you for coming back. I wanted to ask you guys, and I don't know, we're going to have to be mindful of not talking on top of one another, which when we get going, I know that's hard to do, but yeah, thinking back to those early days of the Pole Babes, and we would use that group text to say, what class are you going to? What are you wearing to class? Should we coordinate outfits? Who's going to Tamiya? Who's doing this, right? It was late COVID, so we didn't really have social gatherings. We didn't get together outside of the studio. We met each other wearing masks. And even though we had our group chat, we didn't know really what each other looked like. Right? Like it was such a strange time to make new friends, yet we did. So one thing I was thinking it might be fun to talk about is looking back at yourself and this group, maybe all those years ago. What is one thing that either A is really surprising to you that the you of 2021 would never believe today is the way it is, or what would you in 2025 tell the 2021 version of yourself? You pick which question to answer. Shay, you're next to me on the screen, so I'm going to ask you to go first.
Oh, I love this question. It's such a good one. It's a fun one. I was recently looking, as we all do, I think, back at like some of the videos from when I first started. I started in November 2021, I think pretty much right around this time you did. Nancy, I think you were one of the first people I met. And I know I've said it before, but you were so welcoming and like such a huge part of my like journey at the studio. But looking back at like those old videos, I was so clunky and awkward, as we all were. And I remember for like the first time I tried to climb, or I took a beginner's class, but it was a beginner spin pole class, which was like a whole other story, and I didn't know. And so I was like just this like bumbling idiot, just totally not, I don't know, just felt so awkward. And so I think looking at where I'm at now, the me of back then, November 2021, would absolutely not believe the progress that I've made, and that I'm hanging upside down in tricks and spinning on a pole, and like that I can even get myself up there and make it look graceful, and like that I've performed as much as I have, and that I've created my own choreography. And just, I think Shay of 2021, prior to Indigo being born, just absolutely has her jaw on the floor all the time. So I think about her a lot, and I love her. And yeah, so thank you for asking that question.
I love that answer too.
Yeah.
And I think what I take away from that is that you would tell her to just not to give up, which you didn't. She didn't. That's how you got here, but not to be discouraged. And as awkward as it feels in the beginning, and it feels so awkward for most of us. Let's be honest. Some people just have dance backgrounds or whatever, and they walk in and they just take to it so naturally. But for most of us, it's awkward in the beginning, but just keep going. And here we are.
Totally.
I also
How about you?
I wanted to chime in and say, Shay, you've not only been an inspiration in terms of growing your dance skills, but it also seems like your artistry, including the way in which you travel dance, the way in which you build community elsewhere, your videography and photography outdoors, is so inspiring and beautiful. And I want to thank you for adding that to our community.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that reflection. That's really sweet. Appreciate you.
It's beautiful. I don't have ghosts. I have two kittens in my room. And so one of them just was playing with the cord. So you saw me go like this because they pulled the light down. She's about to do it again. And the other one is playing with the curtain. So sorry if you're watching the video, if I'm making strange, like jumpy movements, it's because these babies are in a zoomy kind of mode, of course.
And we lost Mimi. I don't know where she went.
I know she was having sound issues, so I told her to go in and try to come back. So hopefully she will. Here she is. Oh, and we have Stella. Okay. We have Stella. Yay. Hi, Stella.
Hey, you guys.
We just started. So Stella is another one of the original pole babes. Like I said, we were going to have two others joining us. So Teresa will be joining as soon as she can also. I can't hear you, Stella. Can you guys hear her?
I thought I heard her say hi.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay. Now I hear you. So I just asked a question to the girls. Looking back at when we all met each other in 2021, what is it? You have two options. First question is, if you were to go back and tell your 2021 self something, what would it be? And the second question is, what would your 2021 self be most surprised to learn about you today in terms of pole and your life and the journey that you've been on? So you could choose which one to answer. Sorry about this. Actually, Michelle, I'm going to let you go next so Stella can acclimate herself.
Yes. Okay. I would be surprised about how strong I've become. And I think I'm one of the oldest in the group. So I'm 50 now. I've talked about that on the previous podcast. And yeah, I've gained a lot of muscle. My body's totally different from when I started pole. It's been amazing. My daughters are constantly commenting on it. So they're like, Mom, your arms, Mom, your back, Mom, your butt. And that's been kind of fun. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. And I don't think I thought that I would be able to get in the shape that I'm in, not having been an athlete until the age of 46 and a half. So I'm very proud of that. And I remember my dad saying that aging is like a sport. You need to train for it. And
I love that idea.
It wasn't until I found pole that I was motivated to do that. I had always wanted to be a dancer, and yeah, something just clicked, and I'm very proud of the strength that I've gained.
You are so strong, Firebird, especially lately. The tricks you've been showcasing look absolutely effortless. And I know that they aren't. It's beautiful. It's amazing to
Yes.
see. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's deceptive. I like to do a lot of things that look like a little fairy flow
Hmm.
and look as if they would be simple. And then you try them and you're like, holy shit, that is not as easy as I thought it looked on the
No,
gram or, whatever. So, yeah, I like to throw those in. I've really been working hard to condition some of those lately.
it shows.
Thanks for noticing.
D, what about you?
I would probably tell my 2021 self that I'm capable. I think kind of echoing what Michelle was saying, I had no idea like I was capable, honestly. And it's not only just capable what I'm capable physically, but mentally and overcoming the many things that we've experienced in the last 4 years in this journey with pole and just life and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing that I'm super surprised at is how strong our community is. I love the diversity of our community, the age diversity, the everything. Just we are, I love that there's always somebody to help answer a question and have an expertise or have the experience. Like you guys have become my roster of, just the top people that I need. I know there's a resource. I know there's somebody I could reach out to about anything and everything. And our community is strong. Like we're here to support each other, to lift each other up, to listen to each other. And I love that we have that for ourselves. I knew we started off with just like us at one point with our Bull Babes thread, but it's expanded exponentially and has become so diverse across studios and across all sorts of lines. It's really wild and I love it. But yeah, I'm definitely surprised about all of that.
Yeah, me too. In the best way.
Yeah, and D,
Stella.
can I comment? We
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
to
of
talk.
course.
I just want to say too, D, like and I'm realizing with us all coming back together that I haven't shared this with you all in person enough or as much as I think about it privately. But D, seeing, I remember you put together a compilation of all your split grip holds up high one time. This was probably over a year ago. And I was just like, oh, those are so beautiful. And then I think you put together something with your shoulder mount as well. And I was thinking, like, oh, D's shoulder mount is so beautiful. And same Shay with your middle split. Like, I don't say it enough because we don't see each other as much anymore. But I think about you guys as I'm training certain things and how you've excelled in these areas and how that's inspiration for me to work on them. So wanting to share that now because I just came across something recently that encouraged sharing more about what you admire in others. And I think it's a really nice time while we're all gathered to call that out.
Yeah.
Very sweet. It is important. Mimi, can you hear us now?
I can.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
okay. I hear you too. Do you want to answer a question? Did you hear the
Yeah.
question?
Let me.
Was your audio
You
working
can.
at the time?
What was the first question? Let me rephrase it for me
Okay,
because
so
I've
your
been in and
options
out
are
of the car.
either what would your 2021 self be the most surprised about you today? Or what would you, looking back, go back and tell your 2021 self that you wish that she would
I
have
think I
known
would
back
look
then?
back. I would look back and tell her to not quit, and continue that path. I mean, I don't know. I've had so much changes in the past 3-4 years, and anywhere from, like Michelle said, from the way I dance to the way my body looks now. I'm probably at this different. I'm like 20 or 30 pounds heavier than I was when I was dancing, but I realized, like, I was down on myself and I'm like, no, it's muscle. And when I had a whole body recomp, and I realized, like, I went to a trainer and they were like, oh, well, you have 60% muscle in your body, so you're pretty good. She's like, I don't think that you should be doubting yourself, but she's like, how did you achieve this? And I was like, I think pole has been helping me with that, and I'm really strong, super strong. I've never been this strong in my life.
I think we lost some of your audio now. I'm not hearing you. Stella, you ready?
Sure. Hey, Mimi, we can't hear you.
Mimi, we can't hear you.
Either.
But go ahead, Stella. Mimi's tapping out.
Okay, I'm gonna answer. Sorry to interrupt you, Mimi. I guess I would take let's see, I was thinking a little bit about this. How would I answer this?
Hello?
Well, we can hear you now.
I put a mic in. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I figured
Do
it out.
you want to finish?
Sorry, go ahead, my darling. No,
Go
it's
ahead
okay.
and finish.
No, I want you. Go on your thought.
Okay. Well, when Michelle was answering, I kind of brought it to my it popped up in my mind about just how often we are appreciating each other. It's just like this constant admiration of each other, watching each other's progress, and seeing what we're working on and seeing each other get better and better. And I think that's really an awesome energy to put into the world and to just have as a regular practice, because I think for the most part, that doesn't happen like in everyday life. We go about our lives and we work and we, do, and sometimes we're even, competitive. There's this competitive energy with women, and you would think that amongst the biggest, like the most beautiful and the baddest chicks, that it would be like that, and it's not. It's actually that the baddest of the baddest really appreciate the beauty in each other, and I really love that. I love being a part of that. I love seeing other women do it. I love, when we admire each other's progress and outfits and just beauty in general and say it out loud. So I guess I'm not sure what that answer goes with. If I would, I guess that's something that came out, like I didn't know that would come out of, doing pole. I mean, for me, it was very personal. Like I was just getting, I was just splitting with my husband that year in 2021 when we met. That's when I had just split. And so I was just kind of trying to reclaim some parts of myself and express myself. But it really just, it was that, but it was also being exposed to and being blessed with this amazing community of women and being encouraged to love on each other and like admire each other in a way, in such a consistent way, that it just becomes like this natural thing that I don't feel like threatened or, I mean, obviously, like, there's times when you might get jealous of somebody's, looks or something, but for the most part, having this practice of just admiring and, appreciating and showing love to each other is just really great. I love that.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
share?
go ahead. Sure.
I have an example. I have an example of this from the pole babes is like for me, flexibility has always been something that's come really easily and naturally, and strength has always been my biggest challenge. It still is to this day. Hi, Teresa.
Teresa's here.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, Shay. I didn't mean to bring her on and interrupt your.
No, we need to acknowledge that she's here. Big deal.
So happy to see your face. Sorry.
No, that's okay. And so I still struggle with strength-based stuff, and I can tend to like get down on myself. And I just want to give a little shout out to Dee because I'll get down on myself, and she named that like really critical part of me. We named her Debbie. She's like the Debbie Downer, and so she'll be like, "Shut up, Debbie." And she'll constantly just like tell Debbie to shut up, and I just really like appreciate it. It's really, really sweet, and it's just a really lovely example of the way in which like we do support each other, and I feel really seen when Dee does that. So thanks, Dee.
Thank you, Shay. So yay, Teresa. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me, and I miss you, ladies.
We miss you too. So just for everybody who's listening or watching, so this now you are seeing all of the original pole babes from our group text from 2021, 2022. We were all new. We didn't know one another. And here we are, 2025, still supporting one another, even though there have been divorces, breakups, people have moved far away, people have moved back, people are starting businesses, starting new jobs, losing jobs. I mean, we've literally been through everything: grief, loss, fantastic celebrations and wins. I mean, this group right here is really like the core of it for me. And I think if I hadn't met you guys in the beginning, I wouldn't be here even doing this podcast today, because pole would not have been or become such an important part of my life. But you guys became my, like you were all just talking about, like you're my crew right here. Like I could tell you guys anything, even you, Teresa, even though we hardly ever talk, I still love seeing your videos, and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't love them all enough. And it just makes me feel so happy, and it warms my heart to know that even though you don't live here anymore and we're not in the studio together, you are still doing it. Like you just redid your pole room at your house, and you're in the studio and you're performing in showcases. And I'm like, yay.
Teresa, are you just leaving Sunset right now?
I literally am. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just getting done with classes. Yes.
Yeah,
so the other thing I love,
I'm actually in the parking lot.
I love it so much. Yeah, she was like, I'm going to be leaving a class. Is that okay? And I was like, do it in the car. It's totally fine.
Yes.
But like Firebird has been to dance with you where you live now. And I love that.
I have to
Can't wait to go
And
back.
Shay.
Yes. Shay, we need to do a road trip over to Arizona.
Well, I go back to New Mexico all the time. Every time I drive through, I see Teresa.
I think we just need to do a whole big road trip with all of us. We always said we were going to do it, and we just haven't gotten together.
We could go to White Sands, y'all.
I would
be
love
fun.
that.
Yes, let's do
Yeah.
Teresa, everyone just
Location
answered.
scout is
Everybody just answered the question. You have two options. You can either answer the question, looking back, what would you tell your 2021 self that you didn't know then that you do know now? Or thinking back to your 2021 self, what would surprise her the most about where you are today?
Oh wow, those are some deep questions. um, so what was the first question again? Because I think I'm gonna answer that one.
Okay, if you could go back and tell your 2021 self something, your 2021
What would I
Pole.
tell her?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think I would probably tell myself to like let loose more. I think I was very focused on trying to maybe mimic or mirror somebody's like style instead of like finding my own style. And I think, and I've always given Michelle a lot of grace, and I give her so much credit for being able to just freestyle her heart out. And I think that's something that I really want to be able to do more. And I still have a hard time here. And I think what it is like it's my anxiety and my own thoughts. It gets in the way constantly, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm still telling my 2021 self that now. I'm just trying to be more aware of it and, you know, let loose more and just like allow myself to just like be free, you know?
Yeah. Be free.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking
Yeah.
about that. Actually, in the last couple of days, I was thinking how I wish that there were more community opportunities for freestyle. Like if there were freestyle prompt classes or spaces, wouldn't even have to necessarily be a class, but just an opportunity where we could come together and freestyle in community would feel really good. Because there's really not that. I was talking to another dancer friend of mine who's actually going to start teaching this weekend, Bloom, and she's going to incorporate freestyle into her warm up like I do because she struggled to find that elsewhere because it's a skill you got to practice. Yeah.
I would do it in a minute. I love that. We can
I
start
thought about that.
start a class or do a workshop like that.
Yeah.
There's a really lovely class at Black Widow Pole Arts in Albuquerque called Heart Blossom, and I love this class so much because it is a freestyle class, and she'll have you like start with these freestyle prompts, like not even on the pole, like you just get into your body, and then you can incorporate the pole if you want. But it's really lovely, especially for not only to help people with their freestyle expression, but also for like first time polers who might be really intimidated by the pole, where they can just come and like be embodied and not have to worry about touching the scary chrome bar yet. So yeah, I think there's a
I
lot
want
of
to go visit.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah,
I
that
have
studio
thoughts
looks gorgeous too.
freestyling, if I could say something. I realized that freestyling also it's like even though you can do anything you want, like you have to be at a certain, I mean, to feel comfortable with it and to feel confident in it, there's a certain level of conditioning that you want to be at. So I feel like there is this kind of like prerequisite to doing that. Although you can move your body however you want, I feel like when you put some like good work in and like your body's conditioned and you feel it gives you that confidence to be able to do things like on the fly, you know? And so I love that because I feel like it's like almost like the gift or the thing that you get after you put in work. It's like a gift that you're able to have and give, which is free. It's like freedom comes from discipline. It's like you do this discipline and you work hard on these tricks and stuff, and then you gain this freedom to be able to do them and look effortless, like you know, Firebird. Man, like I will have to say those tricks that you were doing, it looks like just a floating fairy in the air. And I mean it doesn't, it's not easy, but you work so hard, so it's not just something you just do. It's like you work so hard to do it, and then you can release and have that freedom. And I just appreciate all the work and the discipline that everybody has had to get to that point to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's true. We lost Teresa. Another thing that I wanted to bring up that I think is really cool is that over the time since we met until now, I have found that when I have an idea, and like Firebird just said about these freestyle classes or workshops or what have you, and we know Shay talked about on her episode about the retreat that she put together and produced, and we've talked about Mount Olympus a bunch on episodes and stuff. But whenever I have a creative idea, you guys are the group of people I bring it to, or at least one of you, and then typically it turns into something. Like with Dee and I, with the Ladies of Leisure, and trying to make this thing, or taking the pole out to the desert and taking pictures on a road trip with you guys, or hey, let's go to Vegas for the weekend and go to an after party. Like whenever there's something interesting, or even like the podcast, right? Or doing a workshop, you guys are the ones who I know will show up to support, or you will like collaborate or coordinate with me. And I really value that too, because so many of the crazy, weird ideas that I've had over the past 4 years, if I didn't know you guys, they would have never gone anywhere. They would have just been ideas. Like I always have, like Shay, right? It's the Capricorn thing. We have like a million ideas and so many things we want to do, but then, oh, well, I start this, but then it ends up over here. And then I start another thing, it ends up over here. But I've been actually able to focus on trying new things and being creative in different ways because I have you guys in my community. So we can, like, even Mount Olympus, you all were part of that. Even Teresa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so fun.
I think that's really cool. I think if I never stepped into the pole studio in October 2021, like those really rich parts of my life never would have occurred. And that growth that I've had as a creative and as an artist and as a human wouldn't have happened, or at least not in the same way. And if I think about all of the things I've seen each of you do, it's similar. Like all the stuff, Shay, you were talking about earlier, taking the pole out to White Sands, and you yourself taking photos of you on the pole in the desert that are artful. Like those are pieces of art.
Mm-hmm.
And Michelle, your workshops and the classes that you teach and the way you teach, and you just were up in Oregon teaching at a different studio. Like it's amazing. Stella, with your videos and your songs and your, writing a whole record, and everything that you do is creative in your life. I want to acknowledge that and thank you all for being my creative muses and also my creative partners. Because I do get inspired by you too.
I have a follow-up question. How many of you felt like, besides maybe Stella, because we know the answer, I think, how many of you felt like you were artists before pole or creatives?
Yeah, I was.
Not me.
I have
Not
always
me.
Not me.
Teresa.
Not me
Not
either.
me.
Not me either. So yeah, interesting. Just curious.
I mean, I felt like a very stifled.
I felt like I was. I was in some form. I do
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think I was too, and I think finding pole just kind of propelled all the other creative ideas that kind of came about, and bringing them to fruition. It was just kind of another way of to me that we could explore with.
I love it.
I love that question, Shay. And I was just having a conversation, I think of Kindle when we were up in Oregon, that I never felt like a creative person before I dedicated myself to pole. I always thought of myself as more technically oriented. I studied mathematics and statistics. I was in that field for 3 decades. And I started noticing around 2015 that I was looking for some sort of outlet, creative outlet, and kind of dipped into poetry and some photography. And then once I found dance, I really started associating myself more as an artist. And I agree with you too, Nance, that having you all as a safe foundation has elevated my artistic confidence. I'm kind of getting emotional, like my artistic confidence and my artistic vision. And it's felt, you've been a safe place for me to experiment, you know, and see where I can take things, and seeing you all in the different ways in which you create. It's so magical. And then that's always inspiring something. And I love what someone else said about, I think Stella, you said about, it's not a competition. We're all offering things and elevating our natural gifts. And how, you know, amazing is that? Like, rather than quietly going, you know, taking ourselves out of society as we get older, we're actually becoming bolder and more empowered.
I love that.
I think it's interesting too to reflect on, like, since 2021, in our little lifespan as a group, how much pole has like also exploded in that time as like a art form and form of activity. I mean, you know, think of in 2021 versus now, how many pole studios there are just even in LA. And I've seen it happen in other cities too, because I do like to travel and pole. So that's also really interesting. We're kind of living in this sort of evolution of this art form and this sport.
Yeah, I think there are 4 studios within about a mile to a mile and a half of me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, and there's a zillion. I'm not close to downtown. I'm, you know, west, but there are a zillion studios downtown, and they look so beautiful. We should just have like a month where we go go to all the pole studios we can find in Los Angeles as field trips.
I keep wanting to, you know, because there's a bunch that are like 15 miles away from me, but then I'm just like, oh, I can't drive there right now, you know.
Yeah.
But there are so many I've been seeing, yeah, that's with really great offerings.
I wish that was the case in Arizona, because for me, I drive like 50 minutes to like the pole studio that I go to, but the Arizona pole scene is not as big as LA, and that's something that I miss dearly about California.
You had to drive far in LA too.
I know. But
I
isn't
will
there a pole
say,
studio in Pasadena? I think there's a
There
pole
is.
studio near me in Pasadena. Yeah, but I think honestly I drove that far because of y'all. You know, you
Oh,
guys were in that studio, and I find connections. Like, you know, you just feel the vibe and the energy, and that's what I found at Secret with you guys. And I think I would drive hours just to go to that studio. You know, I sat in traffic for 2-3 hours one time because I worked in Victorville, and I would drive all the way to Culver City and just to spend an hour with you guys.
oh, I
Yeah.
love you, Teresa.
I love y'all too.
I miss you.
I know I miss y'all. I'm telling you, I haven't found a connection with a group of women that I have found with the pole babes, and it's very hard to mimic and mirror, you know. I've made friends, but just nothing at that same caliber, you know.
Yeah. It's definitely hard. And I think because we did meet at that tail end of COVID, like there was something special about that too, because we were all like coming out of isolation and really craving connection. And so we were ready. We were ready
Yeah.
for friends.
that's exactly what happened. I did 14 months of cocooning during the pandemic, and I got fully vaccinated by the end of March 2021. And 10 days later was at my first pole class. It was a private at Secret. So I was so ready. I was like, now or never. The world almost just came to an end. I am going to become a pole dancer.
Remember, we had to wear masks
Yeah.
Yes.
I had my all Black Lives Matter mask, and I lost that somewhere, but I wore it for like the first year.
So many videos.
And do you
Right,
ladies,
I remember that
do you
mask
ladies,
as
yes.
well.
And do you guys remember when we had to take off the mask and we were like, how do we use our face? What do we do?
Yeah, we all looked
Like, oh,
really
I want to see
serious.
my face in my video. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you mean I can't be like looking confused and
You
and
had to work on
exhausted.
your face after that, like for real. It couldn't be like question face. It had to be like rawr face.
Yeah.
Not sexy at all. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Also,
goodness.
trying to pole dance in a mask is like
That was insane.
so hard. I remember huffing and puffing, like, and like almost like just like feeling like I'm stuck in this mask into my like lungs because I was.
We were so cardio conditioned because our oxygen intake was limited. So
Oh
our
my
lung
God.
capacity was
You could have gone
probably
to space and done.
elite.
I'm gonna start conditioning in a freaking mask again. Yeah, and I had no like cardio. I was so weak when I came in when I started pole. I was so weak and I had no cardiovascular capabilities. I think that mask was a hidden blessing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Got us-
training for sure.
It was.
Yeah.
Whipped us into shape.
We
I
need
think I
to go.
lost
We
weight
need to
from
go
it.
back and we need to strap the masks on and create a little choreo.
Like a COVID,
Oh my
COVID
gosh.
choreo.
Its own
Speaking
pole.
Oh my
speaking
God.
of which, actually, I'm supposed to be in Atlanta on Monday seeing Tamia. She was many of our original.
We should have asked her to be
teachers.
on this episode
I
too.
know we need an
Yeah.
episode with Tamia, and
Yeah.
yeah. So what we need to do is we need to recreate a Tamia choreo with our masks on.
Yes.
I
Oh,
would
have a
love
good
that.
one.
Yeah, she would
Okay.
love that. That would be so fun.
Let's
We
do
have
it.
so many videos.
I
of
love
them.
her
There's
choreo.
So many good ones. It's
She's
gonna
an
be hard to
amazing
pick
dancer.
one.
Yeah, I know. There's so many. There's so many. I have 2 years of video
Mm.
going to her class like 3 times a week.
That's why my phone doesn't
Right?
work. 'Cause
I
there's
remember.
all
Yeah.
videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was the standard.
Speaking of Tamia makes me think of Ariel too, and not to make us sad, but just to call in and honor
Yeah.
her because she was such a huge part of all of our journey too.
She was.
Yeah.
Dee and I remade some of Ariel's choreo. We recorded it and we never posted it because we were too.
I remember that.
No, I
It was
posted it,
good.
Stella. It was so good. We
It was
had to do
good.
that.
We gotta
You
post
did it at Sadie's, right? I think I
Yeah.
remember that. It was beautiful.
I know. I wanted to do that with you too, Stella. That choreo.
And
we
then I
did.
remade your guys's because I saw your guys's and I was like, I'm gonna do it at my home studio, and then I posted
you
that.
Nice.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
remember when you all did that. Okay,
And
we need to
I
do
get
it.
so
We need to
sad.
do
We've had
coordinating.
another recent loss with Phil's passing,
know.
and I want to honor him
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I
He
know.
was
I just found
such a
out
force.
today. Oh my goodness.
And I didn't know her, but another pole,
Tilly.
Yeah.
Erica
Mm.
Tilly.
she also
Yeah.
passed.
Mhm.
That's-
Unbelievable. Yeah, there's been a lot of loss. A lot of loss lately.
Yeah.
The cycle of life, but it has, and like in their honor, I often think of Ariel as my pole grandma because she was the pole mom of Tamia, who's my pole mom. And
Yeah.
I often think, and this is the case too, when I drive up now to the studio, thinking of Phil, like, I want to work hard in their honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Ariel, she was changing my life. Yeah. Oh, I feel so sad. She really was. She was making me do things that I've done.
Yeah.
She was magnificent. Such a calling. This was her gift,
Yeah.
and boy, did she
She was
share it with
elegant.
the
She was
world.
amazing.
She was never frustrated with like she was just like always so nurturing and helpful. Like the last video I have with her, she was just so beautiful, helpful. And I remember all the tricks that she was like helping me through. And every time I do them, I'm like, I feel a little bit of her spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we
I
can
know
all
my polling changed after her passing because I had so much like she was giving me the strength and she gave me so much like so much energy to do things. And I did, and I hate to say it, but like once she left, I lost it because I no longer had that. I trusted her with everything, I trusted her with everything. We talked on the sidelines, on the phone, on like messaging. And I was just like, I don't know. I had this connection that she gave me so much power. And I found myself like stopping Nancy. I was like, I would just stop. I didn't want to do tricks. I never did tricks again. I was like, no, that's fine. But like, I just want to find that strength again to be like as amazing as she was. And I hope to find that again. But she was incredible. She was an incredible human. Really talented, really blessed. So I'm always crying for her. So
You're
beautiful.
honoring her through your grief.
yeah, she was amazing. But we have videos, we have choreo, so that's good. I would love to put all her choreos together. Yeah,
Record everything.
sure.
Let's find another one.
I have her feet in all my choreo, like her feet, her jumping over, like she
Jumping over the
goes, like,
camera.
and I'm like, don't jump, just walk. And so I forever have her voice and feet in my card in my videos.
Yeah. She made us believe we could do things.
Things too in her choreo. It was always like, she would do some little booty bump things that were always really drippy.
Yeah.
One time I attended her advanced class and I didn't read the prereqs and I was supposed to have an aerial invert.
I remember this.
Were you in that class?
I don't know if I was, but I remember you telling.
She comes over to me. She's like, baby, did you read the prerequisites? And I was like, I did not. And she's like, well, we're gonna walk on the ceiling now, okay, babe? And I was like, what? And that was the first time I aerial inverted and I walked on the insert expletive ceiling. And I remember coming down and I was on my knees and I was like, yes, I just did that, because she made me believe I could do it and I did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think something
and then
about
Alberta
Ariel
walked into that class. Oh, go ahead, Teresa.
Something about Ariel that I will always remember is I was very awkward in the beginning, like with my sexuality, being sexy, any of that. And she stopped the class and was like, we're going to walk. And you're just going to feel yourself and you're going to touch your pussy. And I was like, oh my gosh, she said the word pussy. And I was like, oh my gosh, but it was so like reviving for me, and the confidence that she held and that she had in us. I was like, I am sexy. I was like, oh my goodness. But she definitely brought that out for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we're reaping the benefits of seeing your video after your classes every Wednesday, where I'm like, let me check Teresa's Instagram right now, because she'll be getting out of class and the video will be up and we see the outfit and the nails and the hair and the choreo. So we're all reaping the benefit of the confidence that Ariel gave you and all of us.
Yeah.
So sweet. You guys are so sweet.
Super sexy. Every one of you. All of us.
Seriously, yeah.
I look
Absolutely.
really super sexy with
I know
my
right now.
headset and my glasses.
I feel like it's almost like we're doing work in exalting this feminine energy, because I feel it within myself, where the gravity of life, the gravity of being a mother, the gravity of having to work hard and hustle, it kind of takes away sometimes from like the drippiness and the fluidity of femininity. And so I feel this stark difference sometimes between what I do and when I work and have to be on the computer and running back and forth and being in the city. And then when I get into a performance mode, I'm like, it's this natural thing that happens now that I'm so used to, that perhaps if I didn't do pole, I would not be able to access this energy as easily. But it's so amazing to remember and know that I can, as stressed out as I get and as overwhelmed as I get with life, that when I go to perform and dance, that I can summon this energy that is just so just beautifully feminine and powerful.
Yes.
And I feel honored to be able to, and I feel lucky and happy that I found that ability. And I want to encourage that, because I think that everybody should have that feeling,
Yeah.
because the world is hard sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to be in, and to be able to just let it go and just do like get into your energy and in your drip. It just feels so powerful and healing and expressive and much needed.
Yes.
Yeah, I've stopped doing it for 7 months already because of every factor in the world, and especially what's going on right now. I feel like need something. So I'm so happy that I'm back in the area to be with you girls and dance again, because I am like, I need to heal and I need to express and I need to move and I need to, just like let it go. And I want to do it on the pole. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Great. I feel
So,
like, when all the craziness in the world, in this country started kind of unleashing a few months ago, and I don't know, it's just a lot of stuff to take in all the time. And it just seems like no matter what side you're on or whatever, like it's all bad stuff coming from all directions.
yeah.
I feel like now is when we got to step into that energy and double down on it and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Fuck all y'all. I'm going to be as sexy, as feminine, as fierce, as powerful as I can possibly be. Shay, you had a great post yesterday, maybe, about being the proud, naked, hippie, wild woman your mom raised. Like, I was like, fuck yes, 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 more of that. That is the energy we need to be having right now. Like, all of us, we are lucky enough, like you said, Stella, to have tapped into that and have found a way to access that. We need to amplify it and we need to expand it. I mean, I want every woman listening who hasn't tried this or in some way to get back reacquainted with your body and your feminine energy to just take a chance
Right.
and on yourself and give it a shot. Like, that is my whole goal with GenX Pole Arts. Like, it is accessible. You don't have to be an acrobat or someone who's danced for 25 years. You could be anybody. We all have this in us. We just need to allow ourselves to recognize it and to touch it, and you will find a community like this of other women trying to do the same thing. And then once you do, it's like an accelerant. It's like pouring, fuel on a fire. Like, all of us have just helped to raise one another, or helped us all to rise, I guess, not raise. And it's like magic. And Michelle, you are like our little magic, our key to magic
I
in
was
our group.
thank you.
You and
I was actually
Shay
I was going to say Stella too. You're such a
and
vibe,
Stella.
and I feel like when I see you dance, it's like you're spell casting. And when I hear you talk about it, it's such a magical transmission. And so I wanted to thank you for that. And
Yeah.
we need another little dance sesh because it's been a while. And Mimi too. I cannot wait. I was so excited when I heard you were moving back up to LA.
I'm
I
so
just
excited.
remember all of the like Latin rhythms that you brought, and the hips. I just need to witness the hips again, just for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Or my
Yeah.
my intermission dancing
Oh
between
yeah, that's my
songs.
favorite.
My
Doing
Those were
goofiness.
the
Yeah.
best. Those were the
But
I
best.
love it.
I miss it. I need to get cut loose. I'm already like,
And
I got back from Amsterdam. I'm like, okay, tomorrow where's the pole class? Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to
Yeah.
go. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm gonna jump back. And
we're
there's no stopping
ready.
me. I'm gonna 4 times a
And
week. Let's go.
Teresa, you need to, yes, 4 times a week. I'm going to hold you to it. Teresa, you need to come back and host another pool party at your parents'. I remember seeing like
Yeah,
Stella
I missed that one.
across the pool, just like vibing out to some music. And I still
Oh my
think
God.
about that. I'm like,
Oh,
that is the energy that, yes, Nancy, you're talking about, where we're feeling empowered and emboldened.
And now we have
Absolutely. I'm trying.
stage pools that we could set up.
I
We have so
know.
many.
Crazy.
I know I'm
And I've
setting
got
up
the hoop right out here.
and the lollipop. I'm setting up one for 4th of July at a friend's house. I was like, I can bring my stage pole if someone can, if they can transfer it over because I can't fit it in my small car and I don't have my big car anymore. And so my friend is actually sending her guy friend to pick me and the pole up so that we can have a stage pole for 4th of July. And I'm so
Nice.
excited. I hope someone's going to get on it
Nice.
besides me.
Love it. I love it.
Lucky them. They get to see you dance all night.
Pool
To the
party.
Firebird?
Oh,
Yeah.
That sounds like a vibe.
All right, you guys,
Um,
we've been on here for almost an hour, and I want to thank you for giving your time to this. Dee, I feel like the lights are going down where you are. I feel like you're kind of fading away.
She's like this.
Her natural light.
Yeah. And I just want to, because you haven't really said too much, Dee, but you for me are really so significant in all the areas of my life, and I just want to acknowledge you for that. And I think everybody here would probably say the same thing. Dee brings like this quiet, solid type of energy to the group that is very reliable, very steadfast, very trustworthy. Like, Dee is a rock, and I love you for that.
Yeah.
And like no
for sure.
BS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll tell it like it is. She'll
It's like,
tell
I
you.
don't like that. And then
Thank you.
Yeah. So I love
and
you.
can
Dee.
execute on anything. You need something done, Dee will
Absolutely.
strategize and make sure it happens.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Nope.
Quick
Awesome.
before we go, I just want to say one thing about Stella saying the thing about emotional support and praising. Shay has blown my mind from the moment I met her. And I remember she would do her little one hop onto the pole. And she was like, I'm not going to climb. I'm not going to climb this pole. And now I see her up high and twisting and turning and inverting. And I'm like, my mind is blown. Not because I didn't think you could do it. It's just that you didn't quit on yourself, because before you felt like you were going to quit on yourself all the time. And I knew it was so hard. I mean, it was hard for all of us, right? But you're incredible. You're incredible. Michelle, she was a porcelain goddess standing next to me in these like really sexy lingerie. And I was like, who is this vixen? Who is this woman like wearing frilly lingerie? You know, I'm in like shorts, socks, tank top, sports bra, and a scully. And I was like, I need to step it up one day. And she's just
And
like,
you did.
moving. I did, honey. I did. And then Dee, mind blown too. She would just be in the back.
Aisha?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The freaking Aisha?
Hair, she has
Okay.
angles now. She has
Amazing.
lighting. I'm like, who are you? Because you would just film from afar, and now I'm like, you're just like I don't know, a cinematography dream right now. Like incredible. And Stella, you're a vibe. Always a vibe. Always will be a vibe. Your dancing just used to pump me up, and I love standing next to you, even when you broke your collarbone in front of me.
Oh my God.
I love every moment of you. And then
Hard
Teresa,
lessons not to get too confident.
no. Well, you know, I wish I would have caught you. That is a regret that I feel to this day, but I might
Oh
have
my
broken my
God.
ankle. You know, and then Teresa, I remember just looking at Teresa, this woman with legs for days.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Teresa's
yeah.
leg.
And doing these like leg waves, and I'm like, oh, she's incredible. And like, who is this? And I remember her like not feeling sexy to feeling sexy to just owning it. And I'm like, I'm amazed by all of you. You are incredible. And Nancy, you went from I can do this to I can do it all and become the strongest human being. The strongest. Like, you are insane. And I'm proud of every one of you guys. And I can't wait to dance with you guys again.
Oh.
So Tuesday through Friday.
Thank you, Mimi. That was such a nice little wrap up for this episode. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. You guys are amazing.
Well, I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of us collectively in our pole journeys, in our life journeys, in our journeys as women in our 40s, 50s, some of us, moms, partners, dog mommies, all of the above. I mean, we've all been through it. We've been through it. In
Yeah.
all ways of the all meanings of the word, and we're still here, and we're more fierce than ever, and nobody's quitting on themselves, nobody's giving up, everyone's moving forward with this incredible energy, and I love to see it. I feel honored to witness each of you on your journeys and to call you my friends and to have this be the original pole babes and only OG pole babes right here.
Yeah.
Thank you
Never
for
another.
having us. And
I
we
love you
should do
guys.
this on like an annual basis. We'll have a little annual recap.
I would love to do
Absolutely.
that. We'll have better.
And
Sorry for everybody trying to watch this. Technically, it was kind of a mess. But it's the first episode I've done with more than one guest. So, and we're in different states and different places. So,
yeah.
anyway, it is what it is. It might be a little messy, but so is life. So it's authentic. I love you guys. Thank you for
Love
being
you.
here.
Love you. Love you,
Yay.
ladies.
Ciao. Bye, Teresa. Bye,
Love
everyone.
you. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. See you in the studio
Bye.
soon.
See
See
ya.
y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, powered by GenX Pole Arts. I hope you feel inspired by the incredible stories of strength and resilience that we shared today. Remember, it's never too late to embrace your potential and unleash your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, please, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave me a review. Your support really helps me to continue to uplift and empower women over 40 in our pole dance community and beyond. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your stories and share in your journey. So until next time, keep dancing, keep shining, and remember that your strength knows no age.